We all talk about it, right? Living life to the fullest. But what on earth does that actually mean? Well, today we're going to try and break it down. We've looked at a ton of great advice to create a kind of roadmap for what is a very, very personal expedition. So let's dive in. Okay, let's just start with the big one. This is a pretty confronting question, isn't it? But look, this isn't about judging where you are right now. Not at all. It's really just about sparking a little bit of curiosity about where you could go. Think of it as just an invitation to pause and reflect for a minute. And right off the bat, let's get one thing crystal clear. As this quote says so well, there is no single universal answer here. This is not a competition. It's not some checklist you have to complete to win a prize. It's all about discovering what a full life means specifically to you. So, a great way to think about this is to frame it as a personal expedition. You are the explorer on this incredible adventure. And like any great adventure, it takes a little bit of preparation. You need a map, a sense of direction, and of course, the right mindset to actually enjoy the ride. Every single expedition begins long before you take that first step, right? You have to chart your inner compass. You've got to make sure you're heading in a direction that is truly, authentically your own. So the very first piece of gear you need, it's authenticity. This is your map. It's about knowing what you genuinely care about, what gets you excited, what principles guide you, totally separate from what your boss or your parents or society thinks you should be doing. So how do you find this authenticity? Well, it really starts with some reflection. What actually matters most to you? Is it honesty, creativity, maybe community? Then you've got to identify what you're truly passionate about. And finally, and this is the most crucial part, take a hard look at your daily life. Are your actions, your job, your hobbies, the way you spend your time, are they actually in line with those values and passions? Okay, so once you have your map, your authentic self, you need a destination, or, maybe a few exciting landmarks to aim for along the way. And that's exactly where meaningful goals come in. They give your entire journey a sense of purpose and that all-important forward momentum. Now, a meaningful goal isn't just some random item on a to-do list. It's a blend of those big, audacious dreams that are tied to your passions and the smaller, achievable steps that'll actually get you there. And seriously, each of these short-term wins is a huge victory on your expedition. It's a moment to stop and celebrate as you move forward. Okay, with our inner compass charted and our destinations marked on the map, it's time to actually start walking. This next phase is all about the actions we take, the paths we choose to explore on our journey. And when you look across all the research, 3 core paths just keep popping up again and again as essential for a fulfilling life. You can think of them as the major trails on your map: nurturing your connections with other people, taking really good care of your own well-being, and continuously embracing growth. Let's start with relationships. We're social creatures. It's just how we're built, and the evidence is overwhelmingly clear. Deep, meaningful connections are an absolute cornerstone of happiness. And this isn't about how many friends you have on social media. It's about the quality, cultivating that supportive network of people who genuinely lift you up. Now for our second path, well-being. Think of this as the foundation of your entire expedition. You can't enjoy the journey if you're constantly running on empty. It's about fueling your body right, tending to your mental state with things like mindfulness, and, this is a big one, actually getting enough rest. Your physical and mental health are truly the bedrock for everything else. And this brings us to that third path, embracing growth. Now, what's so interesting here is the distinction it makes. A full life is not just a busy one, crammed with productivity. It's a purposeful one, where you actively make time for joy, you step outside your comfort zone to try new things, and you're always learning. It's the difference between just moving and actually moving forward. So you're on the path, you're doing the things, but how you experience the journey is just as important as the journey itself. This part is all about mastering the internal mindset of a seasoned, joyful traveler. A huge part of this mindset is mindfulness. It's this simple but honestly profound practice of just being present. When we're constantly stuck in regret about the past or spinning out with anxiety about the future, we completely miss the actual life that's happening right in front of us. Being present lets you fully soak in your experiences, the big ones and the small ones. And a really powerful tool for cultivating that presence is gratitude. And believe it or not, it can be as simple as just remembering a number. One incredibly simple daily practice is to just identify 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. That's it. This tiny act has a massive impact because it actively trains your brain to shift its focus, to see the good that's already there instead of constantly looking for what's lacking. It is an absolute game changer for appreciating your journey. All right, we've charted our compass, we've walked the path, and we've started to cultivate our mindset. Now it's time to pull it all together and remember the single most important rule of this entire expedition. So, let's bring it all together. This really summarizes the key takeaways perfectly, doesn't it? At its core, living fully revolves around these pillars: knowing yourself and living authentically, pushing yourself to grow, fostering deep connections, managing your mindset, and, of course, protecting your well-being. And look, if you take only one thing away from all of this, please let it be this. The ultimate goal is not to live a life that looks impressive on Instagram. It's to live one that feels genuinely, deeply, authentically fulfilling to you. And remember, this isn't some problem to be solved or a box to be checked off. There's no certificate you get in the mail that says, "Congratulations, you have now achieved a full life." It's an ongoing process. It's a continuous journey of discovery and growth and connection that is really meant to be savored every single step of the way. So I'll just leave you with this one question. It doesn't have to be some giant leap. Maybe it's just taking 5 minutes to jot down your values. Maybe it's finally calling that friend you've been meaning to catch up with. Or maybe it's just taking one deep, present breath. What is the very first step on your unique journey starting today?